So came down to Manley Mere, which is this is almost like hallowed ground for me. This is kind of like sacred swimming for me. This is where I did a lot of my training for the Great British Swim. So for those people who don't know, that was when I floated all the way around Great Britain. Took 157 days, 1,780 miles. And I think since getting back on land, one thing that I've had to really look at is just rehab. So everything from, obviously I skipped leg day for 157 days. So I had to do a lot of land leg rehab, looking at my Achilles tendon, various things like that. But also just immune health. Like, I think it was such a sort of shock to the system that when I finished, I had to look at everything from just nutritional strategies, nutritional rehab basically. So been working with PhD now for a while, working with them in the lab, everything from formulations to their whole foods, and just looking to be basically a little bit kinder to my body after I asked so much from it for 157 days. And so coming here today down at Manley Mere, it's nice to get a little bit nostalgic on the Great British Swim, but also looking ahead at potential athletic adventures in the future as well. So right now I'm in this weird period where it's still kind of post Great British Swim, but also pre-potential athletic adventure. So I joke and say I sort of semi-retired, hung up my goggles and said, there we go, you know, I've done my swimming quota for one lifetime, but kind of getting itchy feet, and I said I'd love to do a swim, but for a higher purpose, you know, whether that's for a charity, for a cause, something a little bit bigger. And speaking to PhD, it became quite apparent that we share the same sort of ambitions to really, I suppose, just like push the envelope, kind of like see where the boundaries of human performance lie, both physically and mentally and nutritionally as well. So where I'm at right now is this really funny place where I'm still working on rehab, but it's turning into prehab as we're eyeing up a few more athletic adventures. I quite often get asked that even if your goals aren't to swim around Great Britain or run a marathon pulling a car or climbing a rope the height of Everest, all of those terrible ideas with retrospect. But the reason I did them is it taught me this valuable lesson that whatever your goal is, however big or small, start with the end and then start to reverse engineer and deconstruct it. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you say that you want to run your first 10K, but at the moment you can't run 1K, that's absolutely fine. Then how do you get from point A to B and put a systematic protocol in place where you get to that basically? And that's what I mean about the principles are the same. To quote Ralph Waldo Emerson, if you teach a man principles, he can create his own methods. And I think in the fitness industry right now, too often there's a lot of methods, you know, so people will start talking about, you know, sets, reps and everything like that. But in reality, human biology, human physiology, nutritional science, it's the same. So understand principles and don't necessarily get caught up in repetition and weight schemes.